Perfect.
Also, sorry about how late the recording was. I've come to the consensus that if I don't upload it like the night we do it, it doesn't get uploaded because I keep forgetting.
Yeah, it's not like no one was reminding you or anything either.
Yeah. Or like just not being responded to or
Rebuttal? No rebuttal? Gotcha.
I'll do better.
Yeah. Where were we? Where did we leave off?
Yeah.
Ikenna? Where did we leave off?
We left off at the Blue Water Inn, right? Is that what it's called?
You tell me.
And we all had just gone to bed after a new character was introduced, and we fought some werewolves, and one got away, and one was defeated. And yeah, we're just Patty's in her shed, and the rest of us are sleeping, I assume, in our rooms.
Okay. It's a pretty good one. Are you sure? You stand by that?
I always stand by what I say.
Okay. Bringing us down to Flavor Town. Okay. Are you in the Tailspire or nah?
Well, I'm in.
Okay.
Waiting on GM.
Just making sure.
Perfect.
Before I wasted my time with a fetch there. Cool. You guys had a nice, uneventful night. And it is morning time. You guys have come back downstairs. I guess like a little like recap of last time. You guys fought that werewolf, like you said, got away. You came back to the Blue Water Inn, and you met a character who introduced himself as Gavin or Gavdog, and he had a really cool bow with some arcane energy from the bow, and decided to join you guys. Actually, hold on. Let me get rid of Walren here real quick. Sorry.
You're good.
he's back.
GM tools, no. Kill menu, kill creature. Okay, he's gone. You made it back to the Blue Water Inn. You had some discussion. You talked about the next tasks moving forward. So what's been presented to you so far? You are still on this mission to find this missing Vistani girl. All of the events leading up to this moment were attempts to solve that mystery. Finding the signet ring from the Dusk Elves, taking it to Victor in the Burgomaster's mansion, who is still upstairs awaiting any kind of like artifact you might have been able to bring him. You then went to the Wizard's Tower to see if you could find any clues about it, as the symbol on the tower matched the signet ring. You then went upstairs, learned that the tower was being inhabited by someone. You discovered some clues kind of pointing at maybe Rictavio would know something. Some of his flyers were upstairs. You found some paint in the woods that matched some of the paint on his caravan, like his wagon. You then made it back here, to which you have the plan of seeking him out, wherever that may be. Also, upon arrival into the Blue Water Inn, if you remember, Erwin handed you a letter addressed to Valerian, which the text of that letter, I believe, is in game relevant information. And it is from Lady Fiona Wachter. She is inviting you tomorrow evening, which would be technically today. So in the evening, she's inviting you over for dinner. And she just wants to chat. Yeah, you don't necessarily quite know what it's about, but it is an open invite. She does say that she wants to discuss matters of mutual interest and concern. So that's going on as well. You also know that the mayor of the town, the Baron, wants you to try to figure out what's going on with this spirit in his mansion. He said, please don't tell us, see if you can figure it out. So that's also going on. And then there's also this little story of Irina, who has been hanging out at the Blue Water Inn this whole time, I assume. We haven't really talked to her or about her in a couple weeks, but you learned from a book in Victor's library, or the Baron's library, that basically talked about Isaac Strasny's lineage and how. Do you remember what that book said?
Yes. Somewhere.
I can give a little TLDR. So it basically said, you identified the name Irina Strasny, which is not this Irina's last name, but it's a coincidence that it's the same name, or is it? Is the younger sister of Isaac Strasny, the daughter of Grigory and Fatima Strasny. And according to records, Irina Strasny died more than 18 years ago at the age of 4, with parents dying shortly thereafter. Parents were marked as suicide by hanging, with Irina's cause of death marked as unknown, presumably devoured by wolves. So that's going on as well. You also remember seeing Isaac in the courtyard, spotting you guys and Irina, locking eyes, and then chasing you, and you guys ended up losing him. So there's a lot going on right now, that you guys are kind of juggling with. A lot of politics, we'll say. So that's like my little Dungeon Master recap of things to be thinking about, and things that are happening in the town of Vallaki. So feel free to take it away. It's the morning. Anyone who exits their room and doesn't want to do anything in the room beforehand comes down to the smell of delicious bacon, and eggs and potatoes. Just a classic tavern breakfast being cooked by Erwin. Let me go ahead and pull everyone's tokens back out. So feel free, take it away. Whoever wants to come down first. Who do you think would be the earliest riser of the group?
Me.
No.
That's fair. The elf
Yeah.
checks out.
Not to mention, not just the elf, but the elf who is suspiciously always hungry. Anytime there's food, he's absolutely chomping at the bit.
He's chomping.
So he is absolutely 1000% awake and actively waiting for breakfast
Working
to
knife in
be
hand.
ready. Yeah.
What does he sound like as he comes down the stairs, Kevin?
What was that?
What does he sound like coming down the stairs?
Well, so he's pretty quiet. Like you don't hear him like he doesn't stomp around. So you don't really hear the footsteps, but you instead hear of his empty stomach as he gets closer to the kitchen area.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I just assumed you were first.
Yeah, I didn't I
well,
guess we're all
I
down there
was-
now.
I was waiting for everyone else. That was actually for like him interacting with the dude cooking breakfast.
Oh, that's on me. I
Cricket noises.
was like, okay.
Soundboard went
Um,
crazy though. Love it.
I have a
Ah.
turntable.
Good morning there, Sal. Eggs, bacon, the works?
All of the above sounds fantastic.
He says, all right, that'll be 5 gold. I'm fucking with you. It's on the house. And he throws a plate down in front of you. 5 gold would be absurd for a plate of
breakfast.
breakfast. Yeah.
Fair.
He says, well, so what you been up to since the last time we talked? You've been out on an adventure, I assume.
Yeah, it was a dangerous one this time. We had some incidents that we had to take care of, but all's well. We got here and we're just ready to move past that. What about yourself?
Well, holding the fort down. It's well, other than that strange person bringing the letter for Valerian yesterday, not too much has happened. What's on the docket for today?
Great question. I know we were supposed to talk about that this morning here. I wonder when the others will start meandering down.
I'll come down next.
I said, I wonder when the next person's gonna come meandering. Just kidding.
So yeah,
Ah.
my character will come down next. Oh, why hello there, sir. I hope you slept well.
Good morning. Gavin,
Good
right?
morning indeed.
Gavin, I
Yeah.
slept great. What about yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I've slept in worse conditions.
Haven't we all? As long as I have a bed and a roof over my head, no worries here.
I agree, my friend.
I'm glad to hear it, Gav
Smells
Dog.
delicious. I'll have whatever he's having. I say that to the cook, whoever's
He
behind the
hands
bar.
it to you.
Awesome.
I imagine Dunkel comes skipping down the stairs.
Can you?
Hello! What's
Oh,
everybody
Red
in?
is back.
And I get up on my tiptoes and I look around and I'm just upset and I just shake my head at the sight of just a bunch of dead animals on plates. And I look over to Erwin and I say, got any berries? Maybe some granola? Acorns? Anything?
Yogurt?
He goes back to the cupboard or to the back of the kitchen. You hear the clanking of pots and pans, things being tossed around. You just rummaging through things. He comes back out with a handful of dried cranberries, craisins, and he says, "Yeah, I found these."
Ooh! And I both hands up.
He gives them to you.
I take a bite out of one and my face kind of twitches. And I
Yeah,
say,
they're not good.
yeah. I'm just oh, a bad year for cranberries. There was a drought this year, but they'll do.
He says, "Oh yes, this year."
I pop up on the stool as I just munch on these old cranberries.
I'll come down next. And I'll come and sit down at the table and say, well, this all looks good. Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Sal
Good
gives a
morning.
big wave as his mouth is full.
Good morning. I'll have some bacon this morning.
You get some bacon.
What are we starting with today?
Uh,
Continuing to look for the girl?
don't we have one more to wait on before we discuss?
Indeed.
Where is
I
that?
haven't seen Hattie.
Yeah, I'll come in through the door and just like pop up on a seat and not say anything.
Did you just use my secret supply
Hi,
What?
Hattie.
of chapstick? Did you know that was in there?
How'd you sleep, Hattie?
Fine. Fine. Sleep outside.
I noticed you didn't turn into a bear and try to kill us. That's good.
A
Yeah,
bear.
really.
I looked down at my foot. How does my wound look?
Still the same as yesterday. Pretty like red and fresh. Sal, yours looks very similar as well, just raw. It's not healing.
So I was under the impression that everybody was a wolf.
Who told you that?
Well,
Oh,
you were bitten by wolves, so I assumed everybody would be turning into a wolf.
no,
Hattie
still
turns
no.
into a bear.
You know what they say about assuming things.
What did they say?
I have no idea what they say. They say nothing like that in Waterdeep.
I mean, anyways, it's a good thing that no one turned last night.
So you can turn into a bear whenever you want?
No, quite the opposite.
Whatever you don't want?
I mean, I never want to.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really hard right now to not be a bear.
What?
You're doing it.
So,
Yeah, it's fine
so
right
did
now.
you get attacked by a bear? And is that why you turn into one?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Where's the thing?
Oh.
So while you guys are all quietly eating, I was just talking to Sal. What do you guys think you'll do today? Seems like you've got a lot going on.
Well, I think we need to address the letter that Valerian received yesterday.
Oh yeah, very very cool letter. I hope you don't mind. I overheard Valerian reading it out loud to you guys. That's quite an invitation from Lady Walker.
What do you know about this lady?
Oh well, she's no. Rumor has it that the Walker family is in league with Strahd, but could be rumors, could be true. We don't know. But yeah, she we know that her family doesn't like the Valakovich family, the burgomaster. There's talks that she wants him gone and out of the way, so that's pretty much it. Nobody hates the burgomaster more than her.
Oh, he's not real likable, is he?
No, not at all, not at all. But hey, don't tell anyone I said that. He might have me go to the mansion for a talking to.
Well, security
We
there
love
is real
his-
lax, so I guess we could break you out if we had to.
Oh, well, that's great news. Maybe I'll say something. Stir up the pot.
You know what? I think go for it.
Well, we pick and choose our battles here in Valaki. I like to play, like France. I stay under the radar. I'm Switzerland,
Where are those places? Are they
Oh,
anywhere
over
near
across the
Big
Great
Dale?
Dale, up into the Icewind Dale. Across the spine of the mountain, the spine of the world.
Oh, I've never been.
Oh, well, pray
I've been
you
told-
won't ever.
I've been told berries don't grow up there.
They do not, Stunkel, my friend. You would hate it.
What do you eat?
Ice?
I guess owlbears. I don't know.
Oh, bears.
Hey, you got any idea where Rectavio might be?
Who, him? He points, and you guys turn around. Rictavio's just eating at a table across the room by himself in the corner,
Perfect.
a la stranger in a bar. He, aside from like his flamboyant, like colorful clothing, you wouldn't have known he was there. If Erwin wouldn't have pointed him out, he's sitting pretty quietly, minding his own business.
I'll go hop up next to him.
Yes, him.
Thumbs up.
He
Yeah, right.
looks at you, Hattie, and it's like, welcome. How are
Yeah,
you
hi.
today?
Fine. What's your paint doing, like, all over the woods?
My paint?
Yeah, the paint from your wagon is all over the woods, and your shit was in the wizard's tower. Listen, we're looking for a missing girl, and we're cutting to the chase. What do you know about her?
Missing?
Well, Taddy's having that. I'm sorry. I have to see if he has it. While she's doing that, can I take 1 minute to try to cast Snare behind his stool?
During the conversation?
What's that?
During their conversation?
During their conversation, yeah. Like, I just want to, like,
Sure.
go unnoticed.
Is it verbal, somatic?
S&M.
So somatic and material, so you have to do hand motions. Okay. Make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
Let's go, Rihanna.
That was funny, Kevin. Good job. I appreciate it.
S&M.
Yep.
18.
Okay. Says, you said paint, missing girl? He gets like a furrowed look in his brow. And he says, he leans into you, Hattie. His voice gets a little lower. He says, what's missing, girl?
Her name's Arabelle. She got taken from around her parents' house, and we were following her, and your flyers and your paint is all around the place. So tell me what you know.
Why are you following a missing girl?
Why wouldn't you want to find a missing
Do you
girl?
have ill intent?
Obviously not. I'm trying to bring all the kids together here.
He leans in and quietly says, please, come to my suite, all of you. And we must
What?
discuss this matter in private. He looks around and says, he practically whispers this part and says, there could be spies anywhere.
How do we know we can trust you?
You don't?
Right, where are we going?
He stands up. And makes his way towards the stairs. Dunkel, the snare trap was behind him.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think like a minute had gone by based on like what we talked about there? Maybe.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
It's close, but no.
Okay. He stands up and walks towards the stairs and says, "Please, up to my room. We can talk in private."
All right, fine.
I look around. Do I notice anyone other than Irwin sitting around?
Yeah, there's a few like townsfolks, no one that you've met or seen before. And a few of them are like looking your way, and you can make an insight check real quick.
$13.
You don't notice anyone. You don't notice anyone like looking at you funny, I guess, if that makes sense. It all seems pretty harmless, like just casual people watching kind of glances every now and then, based on your hushed whispers.
I'll motion to everyone to come with us.
Follow.
Oh, okay.
Is the spell slot expended, Taylor?
We'll say no. No, you didn't get it off. Okay, it is.
Good guy.
What a guy.
What a guy, indeed.
Huh?
No, I'm not sure.
But-
Is that Ricky? Is that Ricky Kicks?
Yeah.
Because that's how I imagined him.
I just picked like the closest one that looked like a carnival worker.
Mission successful.
Thank God. I think it's this.
That face is a meme face.
It's very creepy.
What do you guys think he's yelling?
Help.
Son! Snicker snack!
He makes it in. Who is following him? It's a pretty small
Me.
room. Okay.
Will we all fit in there?
You tell me. Does everyone want to come in?
Yeah.
Just gotta like jam pack everyone in.
Mhm.
Hold on.
Do it.
I wanna hide under the bed.
You're gonna walk in and hide under the bed? Or are you gonna try to like hide from him while hiding under the bed? Oh.
I wasn't.
But now that you said it,
You just walk in and crawl under the bed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I imagine I'm out of his sight though, right? Like he loses me from sight.
Yeah, I mean he sees you go under there, but he doesn't like he's like, that's weird.
That's terrifying.
walking into the room, can I do like a perception check just to kind of see if there's any traps or like B, anything that might be interesting and catch my eye?
Sure.
Probably don't see me.
I'm actually gonna use you as my distraction. 14.
You don't see any traps. It's a small guest room. There's wolf furs, a footlocker, a wardrobe, a writing desk, a journal sitting on the desk. There's nothing incriminating or valuable that your eye catches, and you have a pretty good eye for valuable things. So Um,
Can I place myself close to the desk?
sure. You can do whatever you'd like.
Window bar.
This map drives me crazy. I keep adjusting. You know that like green
Right.
slider bar, kinda.
Yeah.
Is it messing with you too? Every single time I move it and I like move a character or like zoom in or out, it just resets and I have to keep messing with it.
Did
It's
you
driving me
there's the
bonkers.
little lock button?
Ah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, if you press
You're-
that should fix
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. That did fix it. Whew. All right. You walk in, Hattie walk in first. You guys all enter. Last person in shuts the door, which is Gavin.
Shut it.
You guys have a picture of Rictavio, right? In the game relevant information of like what he actually looks like.
Yes.
Scroll up a bit, actually. So I feel like so many things happened.
It's up there. I was just looking at it.
I'll just repost it. There he is. Look at that dude. That
11:51.
PIM. Look at that PIMP.
3 months ago. Oh,
Not wild.
2 months ago.
Do we
But
were in a
still.
new room?
That was way back.
Yeah. Hattie, he turns to you and he has his little cane with him. And he grabs onto the cane, pulls up on the handle, and reveals a sword, which he puts at your throat.
Oh.
And says, I demand proof that you are not servants of the Devil Strahd right now.
Would I have to roll to try to disarm him?
To try to disarm him?
Mhm.
A dexterity check.
No, that's a 3.
You like reach to try to like grab him. He swiftly with his non-holding hand bats you away and says, I suggest you think very carefully right now. Are you in league with the Devil Strahd?
I mean, obviously not. How are we supposed to prove that to you?
Make a persuasion check. That was Taylor.
I'm really bad at that.
Everybody or just Hattie?
You can do it at advantage, or anyone can like help her out here and do it for her. Like this is very much he wants you all to prove that you are not working with Strahd. So roll with advantage, or have someone else do it. Like someone chime in and give me like an excuse as to why you aren't.
I stick my foot out from under the bed, and I say, would I have been bitten by a wolf if I was in league with Strahd, you idiot?
You can roll if you'd like, with advantage.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
Ooh, -1. 17.
Oh, nice.
He looks down at your leg and he says, my God. He reluctantly stows his blade back into the cane. He walks over to the window, shuts the shutters, opens the door, pokes his head out, looks around real quick, shuts the doors, takes off his hat. And you see one moment.
Strahd von Zarevich.
Underneath his hat.
Strahd,
A tiny one.
it is I, the devil.
It's like the Sorcerer's Stone, right?
Wait, we said Strahd? Sorry.
No, it's a young Japanese boy who you met at the
Oh God.
Tyler's character from back in the day.
Suki?
I told you he'd be waiting and watching.
At all
The
times.
the long con.
He's going to Prison Island.
He got bullied, so I'm not playing him anymore.
He takes off his hat, and you see this like magical aura kind of like dissipate, and a flash happens in front of your eyes, and standing before you, Sal, is your old mentor,
What?
Rudolph Van Richten. His voice, his accent is gone. He gives you a cheeky grin and says, "Salvatore, it's been quite some time, old friend."
Rudolph, where have you been?
It's a long story for another day, my young apprentice. There's much work to do, and we must move quickly. He hangs his hat up on the back of the chair. You recognize it, Sal, as his trusty hat of disguise. And he says, well, Sal, until recently, I've been, as you now know, laying low in the tower at Lake Baratok. However, that changed when I saw a Vistana man bringing a wriggling sack to a golden-haired vampire on the banks of the Luna River. I recognized that vampire as a man named Escher, a bard from Barovia who had joined the Barovians' revolt at the time. And, if you must know, Escher is spelled E-S-C-H-E-R. But
Appreciate it.
you probably don't need to know that, nor do you care.
I care.
attacked the pair. I killed the Vistana, and I scarred the vampire who fled. Upon opening the sack, I found a young Vistana girl within. I presume the girl you are looking for. She introduced herself as Arabelle, and she was quite uncertain of why she had been kidnapped, and I used my trusty talisman here. He clutches at a symbol around his neck to interrogate the dead Vistana's severed head. Sal, make a history check.
Alrighty. That will be an 18.
Ooh. Okay.
Another 8.
Sal, you recognize this attuned item that he has. He has used it in the past in your travels. He can cast the Speak with Dead spell with that talisman. So it checks out that he would use that to speak. He says, like I said, I interrogated the dead Vistana's severed head, and I learned that Strahd had issued a bounty on on young girls matching Arabelle's precise and unique description. A dark-haired and olive-skinned girl with lavender irises. Her and I agreed that returning her to the Vistani camp would leave her exposed to Strahd and was therefore too dangerous. We returned to the tower at Lake Baratok, where I had previously hidden my horse, Drusilla, and a covered Vistani wagon that I had first used to enter Barovia. And using my trusty hat here, he taps the hat on the chair, I adopted the dead Vistana's guise and snuck into the Vistani camp by Velaki to steal 3 pots of paint, which I then used to disguise my wagon as Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders. He uses his little accent there. And he says, which is the paint I assume you saw in the woods by the tower. I must cover my tracks better in the future. We then traveled to Vallaki with, as Ractavio, to hide in plain sight. Arabelle, remained concealed in my wagon ever since, and, well, while the tower at Lake Baratok contained a permanent anti-magic field that would block Strahd's scrying, I believe that Strahd would be well aware of this fact, and that the tower would therefore be among the first places he looked. As such, I already wore one such amulet. I gave my spare amulet to Arabelle. Sal, make another history check to see if you remember what amulet he might be speaking of.
14.
Nice. You presume he is talking about an amulet of proof against detection and location to kind of protect from Strahd. He says, I already have one. I had a spare that I had once given to and then received from one of my students. Not you, Sal, a new one. Or a different one, perhaps. I don't believe you know her. Maybe. Make one more history check, Sal, to see if he might have mentioned who this other student might be. You know that he's taught other people monster hunting in the past.
30-20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you definitely know that he once had a student named Esmeralda Davenier, which should sound familiar to you guys.
Our wagon exploded our friend.
Her what?
Our wagon exploded our friend.
Whoa. Where was her wagon?
Outside of the wizard tower.
Yes.
She had lots of signs on it, but apparently he couldn't read.
What could she possibly want? I do apologize for your friend. I know not why she is here, but besides the fact that we must cross that bridge when we come to it, but we must, at the end of the day, I'm trying to protect Arabelle. I did not take her. I only want what's best for her. But please know she cannot go back to the Vistana camp. Strahd is looking for her. When I first arrived into Barovia, I had hoped to face Strahd. That is why I'm here in the first place, as you know, Sal.
Indeed.
I was hoping to face him alone, taking advantage of his hibernation, which it seems he was hibernating until just a few months ago, when he awoke, and I tried to destroy him in his coffin. But my plans were foiled when an undead direwolf attacked a trio of Barovian children, and the resulting battle revealed my identity to a young man in Barovia. I believe he went by the name Doru, which should sound familiar to you as well.
Indeed.
Is that Josh's character?
Doru was... No, that was Dalu. Doru was the first vampire spawn you came across, the priest's son.
Yes.
He says, Doru blackmailed me into leading a full-scale revolt on the castle, threatening to bring an untrained mob to Ravenloft's doors if I didn't lead them there myself. But even though I was fearful that such a mob could awaken Strahd and destroy my own plans, I reluctantly agreed. Shortly after entering the castle, however, we were betrayed. Escher, who was Doru's, he makes air quotes, lieutenant, vanished from the group as we explored the catacombs. Not long thereafter, we found Strahd's coffin, empty, and Strahd himself attacked shortly thereafter. I fled, knowing from my long studies that a victory against Strahd is impossible. And upon escaping Castle Ravenloft and recovering my horse, I began my journey to warn the Barovians of the vampire's awakening. However, I was stopped by a strange Vistani seer who went by the name Madame Eva. She warned me. She said, "The message you shall bring shall be borne by another. Should you return to the village while light lingers in the valley, you shall surely meet your grave." And me, knowing full well of Eva's reputation, I reluctantly set forth for Lake Baratok instead, weeping bitter tears for the sons and daughters of Barovia. So, Sal, to answer your question, that is my story of what I am doing here. What are you doing here?
I'm looking for my bride. Have you seen
Oh.
her?
The voice comes from underneath the bed. He's, oh. I'm sorry, your bride?
Yes.
I apologize. You know you're in Barovia, correct?
Yes. Do you know that you're in Barovia?
Oh, I very much know I am Barovia. It is quite intentional. My question to you is, are you here intentionally?
I'm not quite sure.
Well,
I don't really know where she's at. I've got to find her. I don't know what side of the mist she's on.
Dunkel, is it?
Yes.
Dunkel,
Rudolph, is it?
charmed. Dunkel, I must tell you, unless you are looking for a vampire bride, you are surely in the wrong land to find a bride. We must get you out of here to find your bride. That is, unless you are looking for a vampire bride or a werewolf bride, then you are in the right place.
So everyone in Barovia is a werewolf or a vampire?
Well, those who have souls, as you know, many of the Barovians in this land are soulless. And, Dunkel, you seem like a charming lad. I would hate for you to be stuck with someone without a soul. I know how that goes.
But none of us have souls. I mean, we're here, right?
Kevin got my joke. Yes,
Good.
Yes, well. I do wish you the best of luck, Dunkel. I think your chances and your percentages might be a little better out of here. But
Do you know how to get
love
me
is
through
love.
the mist?
Well, I'd love to get you through the mists, unfortunately. The Vistani might be able to help, but they, as they are known as the Mistwalkers, but with Strahd watching closely, even then, I don't think we can. I think we must. You must destroy Strahd von Zarevich. Have you met Madame Eva, by the way?
We
Yeah,
have.
that's the reason we're looking for the girl in the first place. That's her niece.
Oh, yeah, she did mention that. Madame Eva is quite a seer. If she has something important to say to you, you take note. You pay attention to the things she warns of and the things she predicts. And if she says to find something, you find it. This could be the key to destroying Strahd. But, pressing matters at hand, we must figure out a plan to keep Arabelle safe. Would you like to see her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come, follow me. He puts the hat back on. He's Rictavio again. It always takes me a moment to get my voice back. Come. We must go to the Arasek stockyard. And he whips open the door and heads down the stairs and makes his way towards the door. Who all follows?
I'll follow.
I will follow as well.
And this time Sal's willing to not even be at the back.
I
He's so
loot the
excited.
room.
You loot the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check with advantage, since he's probably got his back turned to you.
16.
Okay.
Nice.
Do a reception check real quick. I'll do it at disadvantage since his back's turned. Ooh. Okay. You managed to grab. You managed to grab his journal. You don't find any gold or any other like knickknacks that you think would be worth grabbing. You flip through it a little bit, like as you're walking.
Yeah.
Or you just kind of like
Sure.
tuck it. Okay. You take a quick little look through. So like the first few pages in the front are very much like an allusion to the fact that he is an entertainer, like notes on like looking for new acts in his traveling carnival, very much like a front. In his writings, you see that he frequently mentions conversations with someone named Drusilla, which, based on his story he just told you, you learned that that's actually his horse. Anyone who didn't know that would just think it's a normal person he's talking to in his journal. It mentions various oddities that he's seen in his travels, like pair of conjoined goblins, a were-hair child, a half-orc woman named Gorabacha who could chew through iron chains, but nothing that you find in this journal that says he is Rudolf von Richten. It's very much like a prop that he is using as a cover.
Okay. Who's the name of the person that chews through iron chains?
Gorabacha.
Gotcha. Dorabacha.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
Wow. Spelling God.
Did I enter the spelling bee?
The Six God.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm a
AKA
real Six
Drizzy
God
Drake.
boy.
Okay. I follow behind.
Wonderful.
I keep the journal though.
Yeah, for sure. You guys make it to the Arasek stockyard, which is. Let's go to the town of Balaki. And let's let Taylor figure out where in the town of Balaki that is. 10-5. That would be all the way. Where are you guys
And the
Great
end.
Oof.
question.
on this map? This map is so big. Oh, I found you guys. I'll bring you guys, excuse me, over in a minute here. I believe it's like here-ish. Oh gosh, no, even more. Yeah, we'll say here-ish. Well, let me get rid of one of these characters real quick.
Do, 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 do.
Dunkel out. And homeboy Gav dog.
Gab dog?
What does Gav Dog look like? Where's his token?
Damn, Gab Dog is actually
Everhood.
Big G over here. Like,
Is it like a hood? Oh, I
It's a
see.
hood.
Okay.
It's
If
fucking
you
sweet is
ever
what
look
it
in
is.
D&D Beyond, you can see how I actually look.
Is that the accurate picture?
In D&D Beyond, yeah.
Are you giving me permission to look at your?
Here.
I don't know how to look at your D&D Beyond.
Oh yeah, you guys use the phone.
The phone.
The phone.
Idiots. All right,
Yeah,
let's
that's
see.
what my guy was.
Okay, that's a solid
Are you
picture.
serious?
The little icon, like the little
Yeah.
portrait picture. Here, I'll just copy it.
Uh-huh.
Swirls in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool.
He's like a mixture of Fergie and Jesus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gavin of Bethlehem.
I love it.
At first, I saw that top guy with the cane. And I was like, "Oh, Fergie and Jesus."
That looks like Count Olaf. That guy.
Yeah, right.
It kind of does.
Everybody has very
That's,
different pictures.
that's
of
Rudolph
Gavin.
Van Richten.
Oh, he looks just like Count Olaf. Holy shit.
He literally looks like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Series of unfortunate events, or
Rudolph? Yeah, he's literally Count Olaf. We were said
Let's see
that.
if I can
Yeah,
find another picture of him on
absolutely.
on D&D Beyond. Let's see if there's another one, or if that's just
Alex,
like
are
the
you
one they
also, like,
use.
super obsessed with series of unfortunate events, or are you too young for that?
Oh,
Oh.
no, I read all the books.
Yeah, I was
I
in
was
it
obsessed.
too. Absolutely.
That
Too young.
show,
Missy, you're
the
not that
show they
old.
just came
Relax.
out with is so good.
Is it? I never watched the show because I
Oh my God,
heard
watch
mixed things from people.
The show was good.
No, it's very good. The show's
But
great.
did they cancel it? Like, are they not going to
They
finish?
did them all.
Did they?
Hashtag canceled.
Oh, I'm not caught up then, I guess.
I'm pretty sure they did them all, unless maybe they didn't and they got to like halfway.
They got halfway, but
I don't know. It might have been in my mind that I thought they did them all, but it was so good.
Put it on my list.
TV shows you'll never watch.
Just
Damn, just getting
to
called
watch
out.
TV.
That's fair, but
My list is very long.
Same.
yeah, Neil
Okay.
Patrick Harris is like such a Count Olaf. I can't handle it.
I'm glad you were able to cross Lego Masters off that, though, Randy.
I haven't, dude. I have like 2 episodes left. That's
Oh,
how
man.
I had a month off and I wasn't able to finish it.
It's okay. I mean, so good, though.
I know, right?
Okay. Rudolph walks over to the wagon. He says, please, form a little protective wall around the rear of the wagon, please. We must block sight.
I mean, like this one's not going to explode, right?
No.
All right.
You guys form a half circle like around the back of the wagon. And you hear a voice from within the wagon. It says, and you hear it says, Rudolph? Is that you? He says, aye. And he produces a key from his sleeve and he opens the door. When he does, you see that the wagon inside, inside the wagon contains a soft bed of straw, a comfortable woolen blanket, a few books, and most importantly, a young Vistana girl with olive-toned skin and lavender irises. This is Arabelle, who is clutching a plush saber-toothed tiger to her chest, wearing a beaded necklace with a carved copper amulet. If you remember the beaded bracelet from the top of the tower, it looks to be very similar beads. Is in-game relevant information. Where to look? She looks at you all and smiles and says, "Please come in." You guys all. She kind of like looks at all of you. She's like, "Oh, there are a lot of you. I don't know if we can all fit in here. Just block sight for me, please." You guys all like maintain where you are, and she says, thank you so much for your efforts to try to find me. I truly, truly regret any wounds or losses you may have sustained along the way.
Like this one? And I point my foot.
She brings her mouth, hand to her mouth. She's like, "Oh my, there must be something we can do for you." Rudolph looks and says, "Well, perhaps, but right now, Arabelle, your safety is our concern." He says, "I'm surprised that you were expecting us, Arabelle." Arabelle, sheepishly, kind of grins and looks a little embarrassed. She says, "Well, I admit that I had a premonition that someone would follow in our tracks, and I might have left a few clues." There's the bracelet, the Taraka card, the handkerchief, and the signet ring. All hoping that someone would come find me. But please, Rudolph, I thank you so much for your efforts to keep me safe. But listen, we both know that our plan can't last forever. And now that there's people here, maybe there's a long-term solution within reach. I don't know. Maybe we can think of something.
There has to be some kind of plan we can come up with. Perhaps we can all be of help.
With that, a man emerges from the shadows of a nearby alley, and he approaches. You recognize him from earlier. He was. Do you remember when you first approached the Vistana encampment, southwest of Vallaki? There was a man who was kind of beating another man. It was the father that was beating the uncle, kind of yeah. So this is the uncle who was getting hit that is approaching. You remember his name is Aragol. He has a little smirk on his face. He's kind of almost strutting over with a little bit of a limp. He's Rudolph Van Richten. What a fascinating story you just told. And thank you. He looks at you guys. Thank you for your aid and guidance. I was nervous there. One of you spotted me for a moment in the woods. But please, Arabelle, it's time to go home. Rudolph Van Richten immediately points a finger at him and yells, not yells, but quietly, aggressively states, "You are a spy for Strahd. I saw you while I was taking the pots of paint. I saw you whispering to a bat in the woods nearby. Arabelle, stay in the wagon. Do not go with this man. Please, friends, we must defend her from Aragol." Aragol's hands quickly go to the short sword and daggers on his belt. You see, this is all happening with this instant. He goes for the short sword and daggers. Van Richten prepares and reaches for his sword cane for battle. Does anyone else reach for their weapons?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sal, you reach for your crossbow. Gavin, you reach for your bow. Hattie, you reach for your flail. Is it?
Yeah.
I assume everyone else is quickly preparing something, but as this tense moment nears, Arabelle quietly in the back, calm and cool as a cucumber, says, "Please, everyone, let us see reason here. There is no need for violence or bloodshed." What do you guys do?
I will hold and just wait for her to say something.
Mhm.
What do you mean?
Aragol is holding, Van Richten is holding. Van Richten looks like a little surprised that Arabelle would say that. She says, "Uncle Aragol, were you aware of Strahd's bounty on my head?" He says, Strahd's what? What? No, of course not. It's preposterous." She says, "Uncle Aragol, would you give me up to Strahd if he commanded you to do so?" He says, "Of course not. I would never do such a thing. I love you, Arabelle. I'm here to protect you." She looks at Rudolph. She says, "Rudolph, do you have proof that Strahd sought to kidnap me?" He pauses for a moment. You see him think. You see him, like the light bulb go off in his head. Yes. Yes. One moment." He pushes past her into the wagon, retrieves. You see him kind of like press a plank in the floor that reveals a hidden compartment in the wagon. And he picks up this wooden box, walks it over to the center of this half circle you guys have created, drops it down into the floor, opens the box, and pulls out a severed head from the compartment of this box. You see him clutch his talisman, close his eyes, whisper an incantation. The talisman starts to glow this dark purple glow of arcane magic. And you see the severed head start to glow the exact same color. And the Speak with Dead spell is being used on it right now. Now, according to Van Richten's story he told you, he was disguised as Rictavio at the time of this severed head's death. The head does not recognize Rudolph Van Richten as he's casting the spell. So there's no like, oh my gosh, it's you again. He feels he is speaking to somebody new. Van Richten, you guys watch the scene unfold, and Van Richten asks him 5 questions. He looks at the head and says, "What is your name?" The head responds, "Eon." "What lord did you serve in life?" The head responds, "The vampire, Strahd von Zarevich." Question 3. "Did that lord command you to kidnap the girl Arabelle?" "He did, through his servant, the vampire Escher." Question 4. "What did he ask you to do with her?" "He bade me to take her to the Luna River, where she would be brought to Castle Ravenloft." "How did you die?" "A man's sword cut my head from my shoulders." And the spell drops. The purple glow is gone. The head is motionless, lifeless. Aragal looks visibly shaken. He is on his knees. His hands are no longer on the clutches of his short sword or his dagger. He comes up to one knee, and Arabelle speaks up, says, See? See? Yes. That is the man that kidnapped me. And Rudolf van Richten rescued me. He rescued me, Uncle Aragal. Please, this is all a big misunderstanding between everyone. I overheard Jan asking another man whether Castle Ravenloft would pay its debts in exchange for the quote-unquote whelp's delivery before hearing the exchanging of coins shortly thereafter. Aragel, Strahd did not kidnap me. This dead man did. Rudolf van Richten saved me from Strahd and this man. So please, we must come to some sort of resolution here. How can we keep me safe? Rudolph looks and says, Arabelle, I cannot let this man take you back to the Vistani encampment. Strahd would know you are there. Aragol looks at looks at Van Richten and says, Well, I am unwilling to allow you to keep her hidden away in Vallaki, away from her family. She must see her family. And they both turn and look at you guys and say, What do you think? What kind of resolution can we come to?
What if we just let her wear your hat of disguise?
It's an interesting notion. I want to keep Strahd's spies from finding Arabelle. Aragol here wants to keep Arabelle with her family, especially her father. But at the end of the day, we all want to keep Arabelle comforted and safe.
Why does Strahd want Arabelle?
That I do not know. However, I wonder if she is from the same blood as Madame Eva. Does he think there might be something more?
Indeed. And if she's having premonitions.
Precisely.
I personally, and I look at the group, I think it's better to keep Arabelle out of the Vistani camp. I think it's better to try to keep everything, in the shadows of Barovia. Strahd has a lot of eyes and ears, and we don't know what his plan is, and for all we know, it could be something terrible.
But is there a way? Go ahead.
Go nuts, Alex.
Would the amulet she has not, or would the amulet she has not work if she goes back to the Vistani camp?
Temporarily, but just because it's going to stop him from scrying doesn't mean he has spies to get back to him. He has eyes everywhere, Valerian.
What if we bring you to live with your aunt?
What's that?
What if we bring you to live with your aunt, Madame Eva? He's not going to mess with her.
As well. Strahd has visited her before, though.
Yeah, but he needs her. He's not going to do anything to hurt her. They have a deal.
He needs her. But what's to stop him from grabbing Arabelle? And at the end of the day, we need Arabelle with her father. Is there a way that we can have her by her parents or her father?
And her dad go with
Oh, yes, he could. Interesting. Interesting notion. And perhaps with the hat or the hat of disguise, that could work. What do you think, Arabelle? Arabelle places a small hand on your arm, Hattie. She looks up at you, well, eye to eye with you, and smiles and says, I like that idea. As long as Father can come too. Thank you so much for your efforts. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime. And happy birthday, by the way. And I'll just like shove her gift at her.
What was the gift again?
It was that Strahd
Was it the
doll.
creepy Strahd ventriloquist doll?
Oh God.
She takes it and is like, oh,
So all kids here like them. I don't know. They're weird.
my birthday was a few days ago, but thank
Yeah, I mean,
you.
obviously, we were trying to find you this whole time.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, this is. Yeah, this is really
It's on
great.
your own,
Thanks.
It's not from us. We just, we're just the deliverers.
No, it's perfect. I love it.
It's a good
Make an-
present because this
make an
one
insight
won't
check.
kill you.
Making an insight check.
Yeah,
13.
She hates
she's
it.
fucking terrified of this doll. She's just being so polite and nice. She takes a small step forward from you, Hattie, and takes Van Richten's hand in hers, her savior, and she looks at him and says, Dr. Van Richten, thank you so much. You are a good man, Dr. Van Richten. That is a sentiment that your son agrees with. Sal, make a history check again for me.
Apparently, I've never heard of his son with a 4.
We heard him. Sonny died.
Oh yeah, you guys all read the book, so no history check needed then, since Hattie remembers. Yeah, you remember reading from the stories that Van Richten's son is dead. He was killed by vampires. When she says that, the blood visibly drains from Rudolf Van Richten's face. You see him start to sway a little bit on his feet and lose his balance as though he's about to pass out. My son? He croaks, and Arabelle takes her other hand and pats the back of his hand. She says, yes, your son has been keeping me safe in the wagon while you were out. I promise you, your son loves you very much. And he shares my belief that he's been keeping you safe as well. You see a tear visibly in Van Richten's eyes. He whispers, thank you. And in this moment, Sal, he looks all of the weary old man that he is, far more than the monster hunter you know him as. And
Making the transition to grandpa.
with that moment, he snaps back to it as Arabelle staggers forward, almost falling to the ground. He catches her and holds her up. And she then kind of pushes him back. She staggers forward again. Her eyes roll into the back of her head as the whites of her eyes become the color of storm clouds. And when she speaks, her voice seems to echo with the sound of a second, far older woman's voice as she delivers the following prophecy.
Oh.
In darkest night, the light shall flee. No dawn to break, with no reprieve. From the grave the dead shall climb, their restless march a baleful sign. At castle's peak, a heart beats red, its hunger deep and ever fed. Should silence fall, the sky shall crack. 1,000 souls in torment black. Arabelle then falls forward unconscious.
Yeah.
Anyone can make a medicine check to check on her and see what's up.
I make a
gotcha.
medicine check.
Go for it.
Like, my knowledge of her illness to.
Yeah, you can make it with advantage.
How did the 8 do?
8, no good.
13.
She doesn't feel well.
Yeah, Dunkel, you don't know what's wrong with her. You have no idea. Hattie with a 13, you discern that she looks unharmed, merely asleep.
All right, she's sleeping, guys. Should we like load her up and get her to her dad, or do we think we should leave her here with you, Rudolph, and we'll just get her dad and bring him here? Probably safer that way.
Yeah, he looks at you, Hattie, and he says, "I think that's a good plan. I can make the arrangements. I don't know what that was. I'm troubled. It bears resemblance to Madame Eva's warning to me on the Svalich Road. Nonetheless, I will make the arrangements. For my gratitude." He rips off the Talisman of Echoes from his neck and tosses it up in the air at you guys. Who grabs it?
I'll try.
Anyone else going to reach and try to grab it? It's like a bouquet toss.
Yeah, I'll try.
Sure, I'll try.
I
Who
don't
else will try?
I will.
I'll try.
Okay, everyone who's trying, make a
I'm just gonna roll these.
what makes more probably like athletics here, right? To catch something.
Yeah, I
Let's
guess.
do athletics.
You roll these when you roll the same thing. and
Yeah,
then-
rolly's just like a d20 off, but
I should have pushed for acrobatics.
17.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I rolled a straight 10.
I'm a +6 in athletics.
Yeah, it's tossed pretty high, and you see Hattie like jump triple like the height of herself to leap up and grab it.
Mario.
She does not have the issue Apple does, and she grabs
Can you-
the she
Deep
grabs
squat
the
and then
talisman.
large.
You grab the Talisman of
Grapple.
Echoes out of the air.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty
The thing that lets you
confident.
speak with the dead people.
What's that?
That's the thing that lets you speak with the dead people.
I don't know if it's an item in the game right now. I can look it up, and if it's not a thing, I'm sure there's a homebrew item that I will find eventually.
Okay.
Actually, let me look real quick while I'm thinking about it because I don't want to forget. Magic items. Oh, here's the homebrew collection. Browse. Magic items. The first item on homebrew magic items is a 44 Magnum. That's pretty funny.
Crazy.
The cool thing about this is that on a 1, it crumbles into ashes, but I reroll 1s. Because I'm halfling. So if I have this thing, it can never be destroyed.
I don't know if that's an item that I can find right now. So just save that picture. But
Okay, I
that's
got
what it is, and it does require attunement. So I will find a homebrew item for it eventually that we can
Okay.
kind of use. So, but that's going to use an attunement slot should you use it. So you can't use it yet, but you have it. So yeah, Aragol looks at you guys. He is equally grateful in your assistance recovering his niece. He says, "Thank you. I'm glad to promise that, notwithstanding my oath of loyalty to Strahd, I will refrain from reporting Arabelle or Van Richten's true location to Castle Ravenloft, and I vow to never report your movements for as long as I can. And though I cannot take up arms against Strahd or cease my work as a spy, I promise to deliver false information to Castle Ravenloft once when you request it, but no more than that. So, summon me, use me, as you will, but I can only do it once. And I will not deliver any information that is obviously false. And I cannot guarantee that Strahd would not believe that information. So keep that in mind."
So we can just summon you one time?
How do we summon him?
He thinks a little bit, and tosses you a stone. He says, "This stone, if you speak into it, call my name, I should hear it on my stone." And he
How do you
holds
spell your
up
name?
another one. Aragol, Arrigal. Van Richten looks at you, Dunkel, and Sal at the same, like back and forth. He says, "You know, those are nasty bites, werewolf bites. I'm capable of brewing an elixir to suppress the curse of lycanthropy for a single night, rendering you docile during a full moon rather than a raging werewolf. But to do so, I require a supply of wolfsbane, a flowering plant said to grow along the shores of a blessed pool in Kresk. Glad to brew one. One portion of the elixir for each wolfsbane flower that you fetch for me. Should take me no more than 6 hours to do so. So keep that in mind if you come across any. Seek me out. I shall be here preparing preparations to get Arabelle to her grandmother's. And in the meantime, please accept 1,250 experience points to your characters.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
You guys have solved my missing Vistana girl puzzle. Good job.
Woo.
We did the thing. Leveling up.
What is that flower called?
Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane.
And who do we have to give it to?
Rickton.
Rudolph?
Rudolph. Yep.
Level up.
Did we ever figure out to make sure that mine is right?
I don't know. Does that level us up or not quite?
Yes.
Should. You guys were only like
Yeah.
50
Yeah, we were
experience away.
away.
Wait, so what does everybody else say? Because I guess I'm off on mine.
I was at like 7,700 or something like that for overall experience.
What is it? 1,250?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, guys. What am I gonna do?
Oh boy, it sounds like Kevin has a big pickle in front of him.
I sure do. Do I want to put my level in my artificer or in my rogue?
Oof.
Ugh.
Zero.
You're always stealing shit.
It's a great joy.
But you've learned to be an artificer for 10 years.
You really want that helicopter that shoots down things at the end of this, right? Like, how do we kill the Padre? So you gotta get it.
Fair.
I'd like to see the showdown at the end of the helicopter and the pod racer.
So it's 10:10 right now. We can either spend the rest of the session working on our characters and leveling up, or we can pause that and continue on for like another like 20-ish minutes to do stuff. Up to you. But I would say we probably have like 20 minutes left if that's cool.
Um,
One vote for level up stuff.
My level up stuff is done.
I mean,
so
it's like a
I don't-
pretty natural break in the story as well. So like
Yeah.
we can absolutely like move into the next thing pretty easily. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. I'm also like super down to just like chat about our characters for like 20 minutes. And like I can help you guys double check
People are
things and make
leveling
sure it
up.
all looks good.
Yeah.
You apply my XP while I go deep.
Do you want to pause the recording or record like the level up
You gotta
stuff?
change your level from 4 to 5. And then you scroll down to the bottom.
Or-
oh,
You get
sheesh.
to-
Yeah, I know, right?
You can't get anything at level 5. No.
You canna.
way.
Oof.
Do you want to
That's
pause
great.
the recording here or do you want to like record us leveling up? Doesn't matter.
I would say it's up to you guys. I can stop it here.
How about you
If
just
you
pause
want.
it and then we'll just do like a level up recap at the beginning of next session. Just like
Okay.
everyone can
Sounds
talk
good.
about it to all of our followers.
I think
Yeah.
that's
All right.